morning, everybody. Good morning. Thank you for a full hours. I'm Yogeshwar Vashishtha. I'm from Pathfinder's Trainings. I'm the owner of this company. And we are here to talk about the stock market. That I'll start after about 10 minutes. People are still coming. You're not here for the stock market. You are here for the money that stock market promises. So I'll have 3-4 kind of people sitting in this group here. Number one is those who are absolutely freshers, who are new and who want to enter the market now. It is almost at an all-time high and they want to know how to enter this. How many of you are freshers, new? That's half the class. Thank you very much. Some of you have tried on their own, dabbled in stock, futures, options, commodity and forex, and the results have been negative. You have gone into the loss zone and you are wondering how to get out of it. How many of you, it requires strength to raise this hand. How many of you have lost money, guys? Thank you so much. I salute you. You're at least admitting that it didn't work well and I need to work. Some of you are good, you want to become better. There is one more category sitting here who are waiting in the end for you to open their free accounts. They will approach you. You know, this is a gathering where they come. You will find discounted brokers here who will lure you with their strategies and how you can quickly make money into the stock market, how making money in the stock market is a piece of cake, and immediately after the session they will catch you, and if you go there, you know, then you are gone. To start with, a few things I clarify. You know, I have no software to sell. I have no strategy by which you will become rich in 2 days or 3 days and which continuously makes money. I do not handle anybody's money. I'm a civil engineer turned full-time professional trader, and I worked for a long time before I became successful here. And the success of the stock market goes through the jungle of losses. Until the time we will not understand the mechanism and the process of the losses, the journey of the profits doesn't begin here. It's a skill-based business. Every business requires skill. I give 1 crore rupees to 2 people to do any business. One of them has learned it from his parents, he's skilled into doing his business. Other one knows nothing about that business. The first one will succeed, the other one will not succeed. Even when the skill set is missing, you can have different results. When Dhirubhai Ambani died, he left the same amount of money to both the sons. One acquired the skill and he has the Reliance Industries whose share is now at 1400 rupees from 800 rupees. Other is Anil Ambani whose 800 rupees stock today is at 70 rupees and he is facing bankruptcy. This is exactly the situation that, put that phone on silent please. It is the same situation we all face into the stock market. Please understand, everybody has access to the same information. Everybody has a broker. Everybody has a software. Everybody has access to algos. So, these are not the differentiating factors anymore. The differentiating factor is what is there between these 2 years. Neither your desktop computer nor your laptop computer will make money for you. It is your neck-top computer here. That is the key to success in the stock market, and that's what I'll be talking about today, guys. We are composed of 4 energies: physical, mental, emotional and spiritual. And when we make a balance of all these energies, then we get happiness in our life. But there is one other energy which, if it is deficient, that energy will cause a lot of pain to us, and that is financial energy. Money is important. That is the first thing to understand. Money is important. Money is like the blood in the body, invisible but essential. We all try to earn it in some way. Some people do jobs, some people do businesses, But we are trained in our society to get a job. That's how we are trained. We go to a school, we go to a college, we do engineering, doctor, medical, computers, whatever. And at the age of 23, 24, we get a job ranging from 25,000 rupees a month to maybe lakh rupees a month if you are in India. And by the age of retirement, most people earn anything ranging from 50,000 rupees a month to maybe about 5 lakh rupees a month. That means we operate our life. Hello, check. Is it fine? Can everybody hear me on the back side?
No, mic is not.
Mic is a small issue. Raise the volume, please.
No, if you put it on the jacket, I think better.
No, it's okay. I'll leave. Is it okay now? Hello, check. Can you get me on the back side now?
No.
Wait, let me check it. Dharmishtha, can you be on the way? Give me 1 minute, let me just do it right. Bring it a little ahead. Dharmishtha, can you go back? Can I help you? Bring it a little on your table or on this side. Without speakers, can you hear me on the back side in an emergency? Not here, not here. So, wait a minute. We will put it right. Hello, check. Hello, check. That's fine now. Thank you very much. Great. So, money is the energy that is, and we try to get it from one way or the other. So, let's dabble a little into where we are going. Stock market is a risky place. And if you do not know what to do here, you can lose money. You can also make a lot of money, but it is a place full of risk. There is no guaranteed money. Anybody who has come thinking that there is any kind of guaranteed money in the stock market, let me correct you, there is no. There is no guarantee of life also. Actually, we are on the earth on rent of 80 years. Whatever we have to do in this 80 years. Whether we have to achieve happiness, make money, achieve whatever success we want to achieve. I'm from Mumbai, guys. This is my trading room where I do my full-time trading. This is also the place from where I take my online sessions, where I coach more than 1,000 students every day online. And in my workshops, which I'm conducting for more than 12 years now, more than 5,000 people have already passed. In introductories like this, more than 1 lakh people have passed in about 12 major cities of India. That's the backside of my trading room. I read somewhere when I started my trading journey in 2002 that most of the successful traders, they are good readers and they are good meditators. Because when you come to the stock market, it is a journey of a lonely man. There is no support outside. All support is inside. Think of a profession. You don't have to open an office. You don't have to go anywhere. You can do it right from your home. You don't have to give any service to anybody. You don't have to manufacture anything. So what do you have to do here? In this profession, you only have to take decisions. That's all. It's a business of taking decision based on a skill set that you acquire. For every buyer, there is a seller. For anybody who wants to go long, there is a short. For every call, there is a. So we are in a profession where for a person to make money, another person has to lose money. And that's why the people with skill will always make money from the people without the skill. It cannot be learned in 2 days. In these 2 hours, this would be a straight 2-hour session. No breaks in between. If you want to use the washroom, it is right outside. So it will be straight 2-hour session that I'll be having. And in 2 hours, I can introduce you to this market at the most. It takes about 6 months to learn it properly. It takes about 2 years to master it. Only when we have this kind of a patience can we achieve very good success into the stock markets. These are the 4 equations of money. Everybody of you falls into one of these equations. The first equation, the dangerous one, is income plus loan is equal to expense. If you are paying any kind of a housing loan, car loan, credit card loan, you are in equation number 1, very far away from financial freedom. You are making your bank financially free. Equation number 2 is income is equal to expense. Money comes, money. This is the normal one people have when they are young. Equation number 3 is income minus expense is equal to saving. You earn, you spend, if something is left, then you save it. And the only equation of financial freedom is equation number 4, income minus saving is equal to expense. You earn, first you save, and remaining is what you spend. So there are 2 components on the left side. One is income. How to increase your income? Of course, you do your jobs, you get your promotions, but there is a limitation there. Your boss won't give you 50% a year. And with the recession looming in the country for the last 1 year now, jobs are becoming scarce, promotions are not there, and pink slips are common. So, and most of the people have only one skill of making money. And that is the first point. I always talk about stock market for years. Please don't take it as a get-rich-quick scheme. We need to have 2 skills of making money with us. So that by any chance, if the first skill fails, your job goes away, you don't like it, you need to change it, you should have one more skill of making the, and that's where stock market is a wonderful place to come, where you can make an additional source of income while keeping your job. There is no need to leave your job until and unless you want it. It's a wonderful, and every profession takes time to develop. It takes time for you to become master into a profession. So I promote stock market as a second source of income. Maybe after you have done it for 3-4 years, when you become very successful, you can think maybe I want to do it as a full time, but in the start, take it as a part-time second source of income. Second is savings. So just saving is not enough. At what rate your saving is growing is extremely important. Bank FDs, I have never seen anybody becoming financially free by depositing their money in bank FDs. Seriously. What is the rate of return of a FD now? 6%, 7%, 8% at the most. Even if I take a 7% on that. And what is the silent killer of your money?
Inflation.
Exactly. Thank you very much, sir. The silent killer of your money is inflation. Inflation is eating away the purchasing power of your money every day. In India, what is the rate of inflation now? About 7 to 10% a year. Please don't go by the government figures. Take a toothpaste and see how it is inflating. Take your day-to-day stuff, and even on a good side, I say inflation is at 6 to 7% a year. You put your money into FD for 5 years, growing at 7% a year. After 5 years, what is the effective rate of growth of your money, sir?
Zero.
Isn't it zero?
Yeah.
This is the most risky asset. And after the PMC scam, even the FD is not safe anymore. HDFC Bank on their passbooks is now giving a stamp saying we are only liable for 1 lakh rupees. Other than that, in an emergency we cannot give you. So earlier this used to be the livelihood for retired people. They could depend on it, not anymore. So we are always, anywhere, in terms of money, at risk. And there is only one person who can manage this risk for you, and that person is you. The biggest reason people lose money into the stock market is because they think somebody else will make money for them. They are dependent on tips, very common dependency, on brokers. They're dependent on fund managers. They're dependent. I was watching the movie The Shot last night. At some spare time I put it on The Shot. This talks about the crash of 2008. Everybody of you should watch it. You and me don't control this market. But we need to understand this market if we have to make money into this market. So, income minus saving, this is the equation that should be the equation of money. Rule of 72 and power of compounding. Albert Einstein called it the 8th wonder of the world. How much time does it take for your money to become double? 72 divided by the rate of interest is the number of years in which your money will become double. Growing at 4% a year, it will take 18 years to double. Growing at about 12% a year, it will take 6 years to double. Growing at 24% a year, it will take 3 years to double. So just saving is not enough. At what rate your saving is growing is of utmost importance. And this is what inflation will do to your money. Your 10 lakh rupees today, in 2031 will become 5 lakhs, and in 2044 will become 2.5 lakhs. Where do most of the people put their money for long term? Pension funds. That's where they put their money. What is the return of the pension fund? Effectively 4 to 5% a year. And when retirement comes and they look at the money they have got, it is almost a joke. Because it is so less. So money is something you cannot take lightly. You have to take it extremely seriously. It's the most serious thing in your life. If it is not there, there is no life. There is no point glorifying poverty. Poverty in no way can be glorified. Money is important. It has to be earned, and every person should achieve financial freedom by whatever means, the right means that he can. And we have a limited lifespan. You start earning at about 25, it finishes by 55. These days, it is not even there till 60. Most companies don't hire people who are above 55. They will be looking for an excuse to remove them. Because cheaper resources are available. Another reason why should you take stock market very seriously is because there is no pension. Out of this room, how many of you will get a pension guy? Raise your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people. About 110 people are sitting into this class right now. Out of this, only 4 or 5 people will get a pension. That also would not be enough. How about the rest? What plan do you have? Life is all about plan. When I was growing up, my father was my role model. He is a famous scientist, now retired, 83, enjoying his pension life. This Life Boy soap of Hindustan Liver, my father is the inventor of the soap. He was a scientist in Indian Institute of Petroleum. These days, this aviation technology of organic fuels, which is just being put into the planes, you know. In 1780s, my father was part of the team, a very hard-working man. And what he taught me from the very start was that if we want to achieve any success in life, we should have the ability to look at our life 20 years ahead. 20 years, not 2, not 5, not 10, 20 years ahead, and it should not be in the mind, it should be on a piece of paper. Think it, ink it, and execute it. That is the success formula in life. Think it, ink it, and execute it. So a 20-year goal, even if you have a 10-year-old son, I saw one small kid on the backside, welcome, the youngest trader that time. Encourage them to make a life goal of at least 20 years. And when you are coming to the stock market, I say exactly the same thing. You want to put your rupee, your money here. What is your 20-year goal here? Right now you are fascinated with money. Well, with the grace of God, if you work hard, you will get it. After that, what? Who is Howard Buffett? Anybody? Who is Howard Buffett? Yes. Son of Warren Buffett. Two people could say it, fantastic guys. Warren Buffett is the richest man on earth from stock markets. Howard Buffett has nothing to do with stock markets. When he was 18, his father gave him a few $1 billion, not million, $1 billion, and said, you do whatever you want to do with your life. You are under no pressure to do a job or do my business or come into my business. His son Howard, he chose another path. He said, I want to do something for humanity, and in the future, humanity will face severe food crisis, so he became an agricultural scientist. He is as famous in that field now as his father is in stock markets. There are many books that he has authored, and he works of increasing the food production. Why could he do it? Because his father made him financially free. I am asking you to take it one step forward. You have come here to achieve your financial freedom on your life goal, whether you are 20 or you are 50, write down, how can I make my sons and daughters financially free so that they have a choice whether to do a job or not. Our dreams should be 100 times bigger than our reality. That's one thing that I have always learned into my life. And even before introducing the stock market to you, I'll tell you will succeed only when you have a long-term vision here. It is very easily to get fascinated with a yes bank which goes from 57 to 80 rupees in one day, and there are enough stories written about it. But nobody tells you how will you catch that move. How will you catch that move? The session will be there till 12:30. So this is the power of compounding, and when you are building your stock portfolio, this is your focus. 24% per year, out of which some will be taken away by inflation. So this is what you are targeting, so that you are getting a decent returns of at least 18% per year, and your 1 lakh in 25 years can become 1 crore rupees after beating the inflation. It will not happen on its own. You will have to work hard for it. As I said very clearly, I have no software to sell. I have no algo to sell. I do not handle anybody's money, And I have no strategy which is shortcut to making money in the stock market. There is none. There is none. But Can money be made here? Oh, a lot of money can be made here, provided you know how to navigate the jungle of losses. How to navigate the jungle of losses. Now, this is a good plan to achieve financial freedom. Increase it by creating a second source of income. Take stock market as a second source of income and as wealth creation. When you are 60, if you have at least 1 crore rupees inflation free into your bank account, maybe you will not be dependent on your children. I had a gentleman in Calcutta. I was recently in Calcutta, and I asked him, "Sir, you are 58, why do you want to do the stock market course now?" He said, "I have children who are now well settled, educated. I worked very hard to take care of them. Now, for my whole life, my hand was like this, giving them blessings. After 60, I don't want my hand to be like this, begging for money." So, that is one single reason there is no retirement for a man. I don't believe in the concept of retirement. Till the breath is going in and coming out, we are on. The day it is off, we are off. So the whole concept of retirement is a myth. A human being should work all the time. So, learn this. Make sure you get a higher rate of return. This is the key. You need to get 4%, 5%, anything up to 10, 12% is useless. Because it will not be able to beat inflation and give you good money. What you have to go for is that you have to go for to make sure that you are getting returns in excess of 18% after taking care of the inflation. So create incomes. What is income? Income is that money which is consistent in terms of amounts and in terms of frequency. Your salary is an income tax. Similarly, when you come to the stock market, you need to create incomes here. These are your various investment vehicles. The first one that I'm going to talk about is stock markets. This is high risk, high returns. Guys, those who want to take photographs, please, I'll be sending you a recording of the session. Each one of you. You know, once you fill your forms in the end, when you give me your info, I'll be sending you a recording of all this. Don't need to just focus on the thing. I'll be sending this to you. So, the key is, I'll be talking about this. Let's look at others. FD company deposits, they are, have you ever wondered, the bank, once it gets your FD and gives you 7% a year, where does the major chunk of their money go? It goes to their treasuries. There's a department they have called treasuries. And what do they do in treasuries? They trade in stock market every day. They are professional traders who own, on the behalf of the bank, trade in the market. So with your money, they give you 7%. Some of it goes in giving loans, but the majority goes in their treasuries where they are trading the stocks, the futures, the options. Goldman Sachs, the one who makes most of the money, they are winners 70% of their trades. 70% of the days in a year, they have a winning portfolio. They never lose, until unless a disaster happens. So, they are using our money, putting it into the stock market. Why not learn to do it directly? It is not so difficult. It is just one other subject you will have to learn, provided, and I repeat, provided you don't look for a shortcut. Like for example, most people, when I talk to them about stock market, they think stocks are stock market. They only know stocks. That too also blue chip stocks only. Husband doing trading in stocks for the whole day. 3:30 the market closes. Husband comes home. Just by looking at the face of the husband, the wife can tell whether the market went up or the market went down. Because So this poor chap knows nothing about futures and options. And even if he knows, his broker has scared him till death. That is a gateway to hell. You will lose all your money in futures and options. Of course, if you don't know how to drive a car, you take it on the road, you will have an accident. The fact is, futures and options, you cannot survive the stock market without them. Like it or not, you will have to learn them, because that is where the major liquidity is coming from. If I open the NSE site, let's go to the NSE site, open it, nseindia.com. On NSE side, when we are looking at the turnovers that are happening, so let me open here the market turnover. This is the market turnover of the NSE. There are about 1800 stocks listed on the National Stock Exchange. Small caps, micro caps, mid cap, large caps, blue chips. And in about 1800 stocks, the turnover was 42,875 crores. Then there are stock futures in the market which are available only in 160 stocks, not in 1800, only in 160. And the turnover in those 160 futures stock was 52,976 crores, 10 crores more than the 1800 stocks. So which one controls the price, the stocks or the futures?
Yes.
No matter how much we like stocks, stocks are not in control anymore. Then look at the indexes. There are two major indices in India. One are Nifty, another is Bank Nifty. And the turnover in just two of the indices is almost 19,000 crores in a day. Currency futures just becoming liquid in the last 2 years, they only 4. USD INR, Euro INR and 2 more. And the turnover in them is already touching 13,000 crores. And there is another vibrant market traded on MCX and NCDX called commodity market, open till 12 o'clock in the night, and the turnover in them are more than all of them as of moment this time. The biggest market in the world is the Forex market. After that, the biggest market is the commodity market, and actually the smallest market is the stock market. So when we are coming to the market, we need to understand that in a perspective. For example, when I go to school, when I went to my IIT, whatever the professor was telling me was pure magic, because I had not known anything about it. But that's what made me a good engineer. In fact, the first thing we have to accept when we have to succeed in a field is to say, I don't know. When I accept that I don't know, my journey to success starts. That's when it starts there. So it is controlled by the... So you cannot be there without futures and options. And when you are trading in stocks, what is your goal? Your goal is to build your long-term portfolio, growing at 2% a month, 24% a year, so that even if you are putting in maybe 10-20,000 rupees a month there, by the time you will retire on a period of 20-25 years, you will have a decent 1-2 crore rupees to take care of your retirement. Another skill that you should have is to, how do I buy that mobile phone I have a desire for? How do I go and for that extra travel, that extra tour? We have needs, we have desires, and we have dreams. A human being has a right to fulfill all three. When I was very young, at the age of about 12, 13, I got I love to read books. In my life came 3 books. Number 1 was the complete works of Swami Vivekananda. That was a life-changing book series in my life. Second was Ayn Rand, The Fountainhead. Another amazing book I had. And the third one was Science of Getting Rich by Wallet Wallace. And these three books changed my life. That book said to me, whatever success I want to achieve, I have to achieve it in my mind first inside. If I can't visualize it inside, I will never get it outside. You want a successful trade outside on your terminal? You need to have the skill to see it inside first. With all your oscillators, with all your indicators, all your trend lines, everything. It is not about brokerages. Don't go in that brokerage game. You will have enough discount brokers disturbing you at the end of this session. I am this and that. Nobody has become rich by saving brokerages, please. You become rich by catching the moves. How do those discounted brokers earn? From spreads. In forex trading, there is no brokerage all over the world. They also earn. Where do they earn? From spreads. They will say, I am giving you that 20 paisa, 20 rupees brokerage, and they will take away everything from the spreads from you. Find a good broker, full service broker, whose reports are up to the mark. Your best friend in stock market would be the analysis reports that you will get, the service you will get, and the proper accounting that you will get. Kindly note, the most money you pay in your expenses is to the government of India. 50% of your cost is the tax that you pay to the government, which is the same no matter where you go. It is the skill that matters, and especially when you are going to futures and options, you need to understand them properly. Mutual funds, somebody else is handling them. And one logic I have, the guy who is handling the mutual fund money, isn't he basically working for a salary? He's an employee. Why should you give your money to some other employee when you can learn how to handle it yourself? Mutual funds are designed to give you 2-3% more than the FD. Their expense ratios are very, very high. Real estate used to be fantastic once upon a time. Then came demonetization and the cash was sucked out of the system. Real estate is cash driven, cash is slipping out. In Delhi it is down 15%. In Mumbai it is down at least by about 30%. How much is it down in Chennai, sir? In the last 5 years? 30% it is down, and as more cash will come out, be ready for the real estate to drop down at least 25% more. Logic is very simple. What is the cost of constructing a building? I'm a civil engineer. About 2,000 rupees a square foot. That's the cost of construction. You take labor, you take material, you cement and everything, and even with the corruption cost involved, make it 2,500 rupees a square foot. A good business should run for about 70-80% profits, very good, or 30-40% if it is manufacturing. So the fair price, I love the term fair price. The fair price of the real estate around in major cities is about 4,000 rupees a square foot. Anything more than that is expensive. In fact, the first skill you have to learn, and I teach in my classes, is how do you evaluate a stock? Now, right now, everybody is fascinated with Yes Bank, which is at about 68 rupees. Everybody is thinking, oh, a guy with a 1.3 billion is putting into his money here. Same thing happened with Suzlon, if you remember. When Suzlon was at 22 rupees, a pharma company owner, I won't name the owner, he put a stake into that Sun Pharma, that's Suzlon, and everybody put in their money there. Where is Suzlon now? 2 rupees, 3 rupees. And what is one place it can go? People ask me, sir, till where can this stock go? Because that I know for sure. Please write it down, 0. Every stock can go till, if you don't know how to evaluate it properly. And that's why skill set is very, very important when you come to the arena of trading. Whenever you are buying a stock, aren't you buying a business basically? You basically buy a business. You are the owner in the business. Now let's look at the business. Suzlon is available for 2 rupees now. It used to be at 450 rupees. So many people, they think, oh, it's so cheap. What can I lose? It can go till 450. So they buy 2 rupees now. Now let's put the maths behind it. The book value of Suzlon is minus 13 rupees. That's the book value. Means it is running into losses of 13 rupees per share. And when you buy the shares of Suzlon, you are the legal owners in Suzlon. Means if something goes wrong, the company closes down, you are legally liable to pay 13 rupees back to the company because you are owner in the company. Do you want to buy Suzlon anymore? You know? I just gave you one piece of information and your way of looking at Suzlon changed forever. And there are thousands of informations like this that you need to have before you put your hard-earned money into a stock or future or an option or anywhere else. So looking for a shortcut is futile. You will find tons of cheap courses, free courses, people promising strategy. These days I see a new trend coming up. They say, I have an algo, a strategy that is proven. Just give me your 5 lakh rupees, go to your office, I will put it in the algo which is run for the whole day and it will make you super rich. Look at the simple logic. If it was giving so much money, why would that guy need your money? See the logic here? Mukesh Ambani doesn't come to you asking for money. He is already Mukesh Ambani. He knows how to do his business. So when we are coming to the stock market, the onus of making money lies on you, nobody else. Even people like me are coaches. I have achieved success. I can show you how to do it. I'll train you. I'll handhold you for 6 months, 1 year. But eventually at some stage, you will have to achieve your success yourself. And success here is enough. In US, in Europe, being a professional trader is as respectable as being a doctor or an engineer. In India, we are just starting. The next 40 years are ours. We are just starting the wave 3 of the Elliott. Elliott waves consist of 5 waves. 1, 2, 3, 4 and wave 5 and 3 corrective waves. India is somewhere here. We are just starting. We are where Europe was in 1960s. We are where America was in 1940s. Next 40 years are ours. And stock market funds the businesses. What is the role of stock market? To fund all the entrepreneurs in the country. That's what stock market does. Every entrepreneur will come here to do his business. But you have to be skilled enough to know which entrepreneur will become successful and which one will not become successful. And accordingly, put your money in that business to build a portfolio. So real estate is out. Gold historically gives 5-6% a year. There are already rumors of gold demonetization coming. Newspapers are full of that, which means after that happens, even gold can't be stored at home, except in very small quantities, and cash you can't have a lot. So like it or not, this is your only choice. Like it or not, this is your only choice. So let's take it very seriously. These are realistic expectations. People come to me, tell me how to double my money every year. I say, I have no idea. I have no idea. because that is an unrealistic expectation. An option goes 200% in a day, 100% in a day. But how do you, people come to me, sir, yesterday I made 30,000 rupees into Yes Bank. I said, very good, congratulations. How do you plan to make 30,000 rupees tomorrow? Then he doesn't have an answer. Right? So that 30,000 in a day was luck. But when you can repeat it again and again, then it is a skill. On your office you go, you do a set of jobs and you get paid there every day. Let's say you are earning lakh rupees of salary. You go there for 25 days in a month. You are working for 4,000 rupees per day. That is your income per day. 4,000 rupees per day. You are not going to get a 50% raise every year. But if you learn how to trade futures and options, both long and short, and earn only 2,000 rupees per day every day, just 2,000 rupees, and on a capital of just about 2 lakh rupees, haven't you given yourself a 50% raise yourself? Right? That's the spirit with which you should come here. If you play here for crores, that will take a long time. But if you are happy with a few thousand rupees per day, the stock market is capable of giving you every day. How many of you are comfortable with just 5,000 rupees in a day? Raise your hands. This I can teach you. But if you want to make lakhs of rupees per day, I'm the wrong person for you. Because I believe we get results when our expectations are realistic. Who loses the most money here? People who come with 25,000 rupees and they want to make a lot of rupees, it doesn't work this. This is a realistic expectation. Now, let's see here. If you put a lakh of rupees into your FD, growing at about 7% a year, do you know how much money do you make per day? Anybody has a figure in mind? I'll tell you, 20 rupees per day. The bank gives you 20 rupees per day. It is 7,000 rupees. I love maths guys. I'm an engineer. Maths comes easy to me. So 7,000 rupees per year. Divide that by 365. It is actually 19.5. Let me round it to 20. You get from your bank in your FD 20 rupees per day on the 1 lakh rupees. And what is your target? If you can make in your futures and options, 10 times more than that. So how much am I talking about? I'm talking of 2,000 rupees. That is a realistic expectation. And with just a 2,000 rupees a day net, if you can achieve, you're making 40,000 rupees in a month. That is a fantastic amount. You will be wrong half the time. Let's plan that in place. Sometimes you will not understand the market. Sometimes the market will beat you up and down. Let's say in a whole month, even if you are able to achieve a net 500 rupees per day, just 500, that is 10,000 rupees a month. That is 10% a month, means you can double your money every year. This is a realistic expectation in the futures and options. Anybody who has given you more than that is taking you for a ride. Let's be realistic. It's money. When your expectations are real, you will get it. If they are unreal, you will lose all your money to the person who has the realistic expectation. That's what happens. Let's open up. When you're building a portfolio, what is a good rule of thumb? You should be making 4 times more than the FD, because you are putting your risk here. You are putting risk here, you are giving your time, and you are utilizing your skill. In our life, we are paid for our skills. And these are the 4 types of tradings that you will have to master. Intraday trading, swing trading, positional trading, and portfolio building. What is intraday trading? Intraday trading is one-day trading. Morning to what are the vehicles to be used for it? Futures and options. Stock is not the vehicle. Even though your broker will allow you to trade stocks long and short, that is not the right vehicle. The right vehicle is the futures and options. And you will have to learn that, because that is where. What are futures and options? Derivative products whose price is dependent on the underlying stock. This is my coat. The form is coat. Coat is the derivative. What is the underlying? Cotton, wool, whatever the material is. When the price of the material will change, the price of the coat will also change. It is interdependent. You have to understand that interdependency. You will have to understand. So, can you come here, please? You, please. Oh, no. This one. Yes, yes. This one. Please. You go back. I don't want people sleeping in my class. Take it off. This is a serious class. Don't allow women. Okay, so when we are looking at stock market, we need to work on realistic expectations. And realistic this is achievable. Just about, I have two boys, one is 16, other is 20. The elder one is studying in US, is computer information systems. Younger one just became the youngest trader in India to pass a master's algorithmic course from Contessing, the best in India. Okay. So, from the age of 12, I have trained them. Sorry for this, but I think it's a very serious class. So, at the age of 12, I started training them. When should you start with your children? At 12. That's the right age for them to start. They will grasp it very fast. And today, my younger one already codes his own strategies. He's already passed his US exam next August. He's also going. But are they going to US to get jobs? No. They will get the best education the earth has to offer. Then they will do whatever they want to do with their life. The younger one wants to be a professional trader. He will train accordingly, go for it. The elder one says, Dad, after 20 I will see what do I want to do with my life. I haven't decided yet. So, first create that choice for yourself, then work hard. What is our biggest motivation in our life? What is the difference between a bachelor and a married man? The difference between a bachelor and married man is the moment you are married, you have three responsibilities: yourself, your wife, and your children. And when you start thinking about your children, that's when you become the most serious in your life. That's when you become the most serious in your life. And stock market is a wonderful place. I'll tell you my story after some time. It's a lovely place, provided you learn how to. The first question that comes is, what has to be done here? Since half the class are beginners, let me address the question number one in stock market. What do I have to do here? There must be a process. No? Everything is a process. If I have to drive a car, there is a process by which I will go from one place to another place. When a human being is born, how many skills is he born with, guys? 0 skills. We are born with 0 skills. We only know how to cry, to get attention. Then our parents teach us how to walk, how to talk, how to write, how to socialize. Then they send us to the school where there are teachers who teach us the alphabets, the various subjects and other things. And by the time you are 16 to 18, you are literate. You can speak languages. What is the criteria of success? The criteria of success is you have a vocabulary of about 800 words. Brian Tracy, you should read him, is brilliant. He says the success or failure of a human being depends on the number of words he has in his vocabulary. If somebody has 10-20 words in his vocabulary, let's say 2-year-old, he can make very few sentences. The moment it goes to 100-200 words, you can do communication. When it reaches 500 words, your cognitive abilities start, you can think. Your thought process, your decision making starts. Normally, most people after they become graduate, they don't learn any new words. And the same words they use for the rest of their life. How is a doctor successful? Because he has a medical vocabulary that he got from his medical school, and he can think in medical terms. A chartered accountant can think in financial terms. A computer engineer can think in those terms. Similarly, if you want to become successful in stock market, you need to build a vocabulary of more than 2,000. 800 is not enough. Of more than 2,000 stock market terms. It's as simple as that. This is what my first mentor taught me. It's all about vocabularies. The difference between Albert Einstein and an ordinary man is just the vocabulary. The most vocabulary you have, the more permutations, combinations can be made, and the more combinations can be made, the more you can succeed there. So it is all skills. You acquire skill. What is skill? Skill is transfer of knowledge from conscious mind to subconscious mind with practice, practice and practice. It takes, when you do something 21 times, you become familiar with it. When you repeat it 21 times more, 21 into 21, 442, you have started acquiring it on the level of the skill. At the moment you have spent the repetitions 10,000 times, the world will come and give you money for it. That's how the world operates. That's how the stock market also operates. So when you are coming into the arena of stock market, it is a skill. And you have to practice it first with less money. I've seen a lot of people telling, come with a lot of money. No, start small, not big. First start small, practice it. And gradually, as you get, a doctor spends about 4 years getting the degree of a doctor. Is every doctor earning the same money? No. Even though they have the same degree, they have variable levels of skills. And in the start, the medical college knows that they have the theory, but they don't have the practice yet. They don't have the skill yet. So in the start of their career, they are without skill and only vocabulary and the theory. So they ask them in the start to work on dead bodies, to learn. Because without skill, if the doctor works on live bodies, he will convert them into a dead body. This is what most people do into the stock market. For every field, there is a preparation period, sir. You want to become an engineer, there is a preparation period of 4 years. That's why engineering college was formed. To become a graduate, there is a preparation period of 18 years. And here we are talking of a place where there is no upper limit of making money. So why not prepare yourself and come here? Why come here unprepared? And you all are designed to succeed. You're all graduates at least. You have the skill set and the initial vocabulary already in place. You just have to work, and more new vocabulary you will have to create here on this one. and nobody is going to give it to you. Keep that in mind. Let's come to the principle number 1. These are the 4 results. Any trade that you will take will have 4 results. Short-term trade or long-term trade, it will have 4 results. Big loss, small profit, and which one is the most dangerous for you? The big loss. Because if big loss happens, your capital goes away. And if your capital goes away, you will not survive into the market. If your stock goes from 100 rupees to 50 rupees, it goes down 50%. How much percent does it have to go up to reach 100 rupees again? Anybody? 100%. That means if you allow your small loss to become a big loss, there is a very low chance of recovering it. And the only way to avoid a big loss is to plan for a small loss. That's the number 1 thing that you'll have to look for. And it can only happen when we have the scale. Let's open a chart, something. Let's understand this principle. Let's see, I pick up a company like, let's say, TCS. Let's look at TCS here and let's go somewhere around this way. Let's say this is TCS and somebody wanted to buy TCS here at 1985. He instructed his broker, buy TCS for me, and the broker bought 100 TCS for him. Now to make money, in which direction does he think TCS will go? Up or down? Up. But these 100 TCS he bought from somebody. How about that other person? What is his opinion?
It will go down.
Can both of them be right? This is the base principle. This is the base principle. Whether you are trading a stock or a future or an option or a strategy or an algo or anything, the base principles remain the same. You know, for one algo to be right, another algo has to be wrong. For strategy to be right, another strategy has to be wrong. For one software to be right, another software has to be wrong. For one human being to be right, another human being has to be. So, when we are taking a trade, our normal tendency is, that's how we have been raised, is that we are right. We are raised in life with we are right syndrome. That's how our schools train us. Who gets all the respect? 98%. I still remember, my younger one is a footballer, he has played national levels. And he scores a reasonable 90% into his classes he likes. So, one day I was into his school and we were into that football coaching. Other parents were there. There was one parent, he said, I have to remove my son from the football coaching now. Yogeshwarji. I said, what happened? Well, his grades are dropping. I said, what happened? Earlier he used to be at 98%. Last time it was only 97. I can't afford it. That's how we are brainwashed. We have to be right 90% of the time to achieve success. Not in the stock market. At all other places it might work, not in the stock market. Because stock market is so, there are 2 aspects of this market. One that is in your control, the another that is not in your control. Let's take the recent Yes Bank. Yes Bank was at 57 rupees. It was going nicely, moving around that place. Suddenly one investor, let me open up that. Yes. Now, let's look at Yes Bank. This is Yes Bank. And Here somebody bought it at 32 rupees. Who would be that person? It was definitely not the retail. It is mostly the institutions who are buying. So institution has bought it, they move the market, they control the market, they bought it around this price. And now, this one, let's look at it. It's nicely going here around this level. Now, the person who has bought or sold Yes Bank, does he have any way of knowing that that person will put in 1.3 billion here? No way. No way. That means you cannot catch this move. You can only regret it later. Most people only regret it later. Mera chhut gaya. But it was never designed to be caught. Now, let me look at another logic. This guy already knew he is going to invest. Do you think he took a decision on Thursday? Maybe he took a decision way back a month ago. He bought a lot of Yes Bank through a proxy right here. Gave an announcement, I plan to invest. He has not committed, by the way. There is no paperwork in place. And Yes Bank goes up right into a distribution zone here. This is Yes Bank here. Hasn't that institution made tons of money? Yes. Price has already moved from wholesale price to retail price. And what does the retail do? They buy at the top always. That's where they lose most of their money. They buy at the top. Now the whole of India wants to buy it. Yes, I had a friend from Delhi, my classmate. He has not talked to me for 5 years. Suddenly, I get a phone from him day before yesterday in the sweetest of the voices. He's not even my friend. He said, Yaar, Yogeshwar, what to do with? Shall I buy it now? He wants to buy it, but he just wants my confirmation because his own skill is missing. Because his own skill is missing in that one. So, when we are coming into the market, we are in a market where your chance is always 50. Let's go back to our TCS to understand the principle number 1 of stock market, the most important one. So, this is not a great time to buy Yes Bank. This is just the right time to create nice futures and options strategies to take care of that move. And by the way, most people don't even know. Yesterday when the result came of Yes Bank, the loss has increased from 4 billion to 6 billion. Last year, they were in 119 crores of profit and now they are in 1400 crore of loss. So if you want to buy this business, would you like to buy a business which has increased its losses just because somebody else has committed to it? No. You buy the facts. Very common saying in stock market is, buy the facts, sell the rumors. Buy the facts and sell the rumors. Let's go to TCS. Let's understand. Now here, this is TCS here. This person buys. Now, what is the probability of TCS, right now going up? Right now I'll not enter it here. If I was a trained trader, I'll say, okay, it has become oversold, RSI is less than 30, it is giving a divergence, but my candle has not yet given me a confirmation. Try wait. And here I have a pattern. This is a morning star pattern, a 70% success rate pattern after a nice oversold market, which it was. So here I say, okay, now I want to buy TCS here. And when I plan to buy it, what is the first thing I have to plan? Profits? No. Stop loss. Profits are never in my hands. Please understand. What is one thing and only one thing in my control in the stock market? Losses. The moment you understand this, your journey begins. Profit was never in your hands. Profit, the market gives. Losses, you take. Most people, they blame the market for their losses. They blame the market for their losses. No. You plan for your losses. Now, somebody, how will I control this? Stop loss. Oh, sir, stop loss will be hit. That is too old-fashioned a method. Most of your discount brokers, in the morning, the first thing they do is they sell the order book to an operator for a decent amount of money, so the operators already know where your stop losses are. That means you have to take yourself one step further. Find out how will you use options. Options are the products of risk management. They are not the products of trading. Most people think I'll buy a call, I'll buy a put, I'll become rich. No sir, they are products of risk management. So, how will you execute a trade with being in control all the time? And I want to be in control in such a way that even when I'm wrong, my option will give me money and I have zero risk of my stop loss getting hit. Where if I'm wrong, my risk is reduced at least by 70%. And this, there are many strategies you have to learn like that. So here I buy, and this is the level I keep in mind, that in case it goes below this, I will get out. Whatever my strategy is, I'll get out when it goes below this. So what is this? This is my land loss. So before I have to do my maths right. Before you execute a trade, it has to be a winner. If it is not a winner, before you execute it, it can never be a winner after you execute. This is a rule of stock market. Most people, I said, what is your strategy? Their strategy is hope. I hope it will go. No, you are putting your real stuff here, your real money you are putting here. You cannot put it on hope, it has to be a skill. And in stock market, do we work on certainties? No, sir. In stock market, we work on probabilities. We work on probabilities. First of all, how will you mitigate the risk of the market? Risk is inversely proportional to the more skill you will acquire, the less risky it will become for you. Let's say you want to learn how to drive a car. Can you learn it from a book? Read a car and read a book? No. You go to a motor training school. You pay the fees, they assign you an instructor. They assign you an instructor. And that instructor will take you on the road. He will tell you first gear, second gear, everything. But in the start you have the knowledge, the theory, but you don't have the skill yet. So he will ask you to start slow. So what happens when you don't have the skill? Fear. What is fear? Fear is absence of skill. Absence of skill is so you start from, and it takes you on the real road. From the front, vehicles are coming. You're very scared that a vehicle will come and hit you. But believe me, the person coming from the front is more scared. Because in front of your car is written, the driver is learning. Learner, yeah. So they stay away from. But gradually, within few weeks, you know how to handle the clutches, the brake, and within a month, you find the coordination between the various components. Within 2 months, you are driving in your neighborhood without a problem. Within 6 months, you are on a highway listening to your songs and enjoying your drive. This is the word. This is the key. Enjoy. If you will not enjoy it, you will not sustain into it. The stock market for you is just a burden to make money. You will not survive here at all. It will become a very boring place for you. You need to enjoy the process. People ask me, so why do you trade every morning? I said, because I enjoy the process. When you enjoy the process, you will do it for 100 years. A human being looks for pleasure and enjoyment. That's a base human necessity. Enjoyment, pleasure, happiness. Many of you are doing your jobs, but you don't like it. Why? Because you don't enjoy it. It is just a means of making money. The stock market will become the same. It will be one more job, which you will not like. And when do you enjoy a thing? When you become skilled into it. You might have a skill like gardening. I have an employee in Hyderabad. She's a full-time trader. She also helps me in certain things. And her hobby is gardening. Husband has a traveling job. She's mostly at home with her son. And she gardens. And she's so expert into it. She's so expert into it that she can understand the plant. The way she understands her trade, the same way she understands her seed. She doesn't get any money from it, but she enjoys it. She enjoys her trading as well. So when you are coming into the arena of trading, please understand, in the start, 6 months, 1 year is fine for you to learn, acquire the skill, but at some stage, you should be able to, if you will enjoy it, you will stay. The key here is sustainability. How will you sustain here for a long time? The money should be enjoyable. And that's why taking it as a second source of income makes sense. Don't have the burden to become a full-time trader. And what is a very simple method? Commit some expense of your house to it. That's the simplest way to become serious. Why is your salary a serious business? Your salary is a serious business because every expense of yours is dependent on it. Every expense of yours is dependent on it. Whether it is your education of children, groceries or other things, do the same. In the start, be a little less risky. You can say, I will not do that shopping of my new shoe till the time I get profits from the stock market. I will not go for that vacation till I get the necessary profits from the stock market. But use common sense also. Don't say, I will not pay the electricity bill till. Then that might be a problem. And you'll be so surprised to find when that 5% will become 10%, when that 10 will become 20, 20 will become 50 over a period of years. You won't even know when you become a full-time trader. Don't have the pressure to become a full-time trader. Let it be a gradual journey. Nobody forces the seed to develop into a plant. It is a natural process. Similarly, becoming a trader and an investor is a natural process. You keep on acquiring your skill, you will become good. And it's like a class. Those who work hard become more successful. Those who don't work hard become less successful into the market. So, now let's see, this is my planned loss. So I decide, no matter what happens, I will not take a loss more than 100 rupees. So you have defined your loss. You have defined your loss. That's why I love options as a product, because their loss is defined automatically. So now, I go back and say, where will I get out? Please note, when you come to the stock market, you have limited money and you have limited time. Your money is also limited, your time is also limited, so you will have to use it judicially, properly. There are unlimited opportunities and limited time. So, I say, let's go back here and I see around this level was a spinning top, and that's where most of the institutions sold yes bank. And around here, most institutions will buy the Yes Bank, and these institutions, it can be a Goldman Sachs, it can be Indian Mutual Fund, they're not sitting there looking in front of the market. They have orders already placed into the system. In India, as of now, 70% of the orders that are executed are automated orders into the system. Retail contributes a very small part, just 2 to 5%. 95% of the money is of the institution. It is basically they who are trading against each other. Nobody trades with us. And the moment we have that, our ego drops. Whether your capital is 5,000 or 5 crore, very frankly, nobody cares. Till the time you don't become a 100 crore party, they will not even notice you. And that gives us the necessary safety. That's what I love about the market, that small money is not noticed, so it is easy for you to make a few thousand rupees in a day without even getting noticed. You want to make 10,000 rupees in a day, learn to do it, and you will make a decent, lakh rupees, 2 lakh rupees in a month. On a 10 lakh rupees, making lakh rupees a month from stock market with necessary skill from futures and options is easy. Provided you work hard to make it easy. 6 months you need to practice it first, learn the skill. So here, I say I go back and I say whenever the price will reach here, I will sell it. And now for this, do you have to be near the market? Now, one thing people have in mind is, if I have to make money in the market, if I have to trade the market, those who want to use washrooms in between, please go and come back, because I will not be taking a break in between. So, you put an order in the system. Thanks to technology, whether you are doing an intraday trade or a positional trade or a portfolio, you just put your trade into the system and it will be automatically executed. So I put the trade into the system here, and what is my required planned profit? 259 rupees. So this is the planned profit. This is the base principle. Planned profit. So now let's look at the basic maths. My planned profit is 259 rupees. My planned loss is 107 rupees. So is my reward planned profit minimum 2 times that of my planned loss?
Yes.
This is where it starts. Whatever strategy you use, whatever method you use, the first single requirement is that your planned profit has to be minimum, 2 times that of your planned loss. That creates the first magic. Because then I require a success rate of not 90%. I require a success rate of only 50% to become successful. Let's say I take 10 trades, 5 of them give me loss, 5 of them give me the profits. Every time I am profitable, I am making 2 times. Every time I am loss making, I do it 1 time. And at the end of 10 trades, I will still be in profits. In fact, you will require a success rate of only 30% to break even. That even if 7 trades out of 10 are wrong, basic math says, I love maths, maths doesn't lie ever. It's the most exact language. And stock market only operates in the language of mathematics. Even when you are looking at a technical chart, whether it is a line chart, bar chart, Heimann chart, Renko chart, or a candlestick chart, you are basically only looking at a number. They are numbers being presented pictorially. But what happens in these charts is they create patterns. All the human beings are governed by 2 emotions, fear and greed. Historically, since whatever time is, So whenever fear comes, they operate in a certain way. Whenever greed comes, they operate in exactly the same way. And these candlestick patterns catch them. So once you learn how to analyze these patterns, you will get to know what are the emotions coming into the market. And accordingly you can work on probabilities. You will never work on certainties, you always work on probabilities. So then your probability will become a little higher. So here, like for example, let's go here. The latest one. I made some money into this on Friday. This is another simple one. Okay. Now, last time the price came here. So this has always been a resistance point for TCL. So why should I think? Why should I be smarter than the market thinking it will go up? It has stopped. So it makes a lot of sense for me to get out at this level and book my profits. Now, let's go back to our trades. Understand one other principle. I bought it here. And now, the price of TCS has gone from 2020 to 2130. 130 points it has gone up. You are making profits now. Tell me, has your risk increased or decreased? Many people, most people said the risk has decreased. The answer is wrong. The answer is increased. There's another point to be understood. The very difference between the debt market and the stock market is when you go to the bank, put the money in a FD, the moment you give your money there, your risk becomes zero. But in stock market, when you enter, your risk starts. Earlier, at this place, when you were here, only your capital was at risk. Now think logically, now at this place, you have not got out. Tomorrow it can drop down. So isn't both your capital and your profit at risk now? Right. So your risk increases. It can either be a positive risk or negative risk. Now you need to understand here, how will you reduce your risk? How will you manage the risk till it reaches its target? Another very common problem in the stock market is people, when they are in profit, they are in a hurry to book it. They always book their profits prematurely. They don't allow it to develop. But when they are in losses, they'll keep on waiting for the money to come up. But not only that, they do one more mistake called averaging. First bought Yes Bank at 250, 175, then 100, and they'll kill, and then it becomes a kingfisher. So when you are coming to the arena of, you cannot start that journey of loss. Journey shuru hi nahi karni. And this principle is very powerful. I run an online trading room every day for the past 6 years. And I maintain a trade log of it. Let me share that with you. Let's say, this is, do I make money every day? No, sir. Anybody who says he can make money every day is lying. Anybody who says he is right 90% of the time, he is the ultimate liar of the world. I am trading the market for 12 years now. My success rate is 70%. And I have spent almost 17 years of my life trading these markets, Indian markets and outside markets. So let's understand this. This principle is the key. If you look at this principle here, let's see here. If I'm going here, this was one trade. What do I do every day in my online trading room in my life? I sit with 10 lakh rupees, real money. I only trade real money. I don't, work on demo accounts and others. Because till the time, the main game is understanding your emotions. Happens, I asked people, how did you lose this much money? What does many people tell me? Sir, I couldn't control my emotions. The trade was going good, but I couldn't control my emotions. Trading is 25% technical analysis, 25% fundamental analysis, 25% risk management, and 25% the psychology of the trading part. Until the time that last 25% is not in place, the first 75 are useless. They're useless. Because, and that can only be done when you are live trading yourself under a coach who also live trades his money in front of you, and he allows you to participate with him. That is when then skill can be developed. That's how I learned it from my mentors. That's how I teach it to my students. So here now, if you see here, let's look at these trades. So what is my target every day on that 10 lakh rupees? On that 10 lakh rupees, my target is net 5,000 rupees in a day. That's all. I'm not targeting 50,000 rupees in a day. I'm targeting only 5,000 rupees net per day. Someday I'll make a 10,000, someday I'll lose 5,000, some days the market will give me a bonus. But my target is, my basic math says, if I'm able to make 5,000 rupees net per day, I will take home 1 lakh rupees per month on my 10 lakh rupees. And what will I do with that 1 lakh rupees? I already have a list of 30 stocks for my long-term portfolio, and there I'll immediately transfer the money. When you build a portfolio, you don't time the market. Most people say, Nifty is high, how can I build a portfolio? So let me answer that before I come into this one more. I'll come to this. Now, if you look at the index, deceptions can be. Now, let's look at this market here. This is the index. And if you look at the index, the Nifty, what is Nifty? Index of the top 50 blue chip companies of India. It does not represent the 8,000 stocks. It only represents the 50 blue chip companies. And in that also there are 3 companies which hold the most weightage, which is Reliance Industries, HDFC Bank, HDFC, and TCS. Okay. So they control. So you control those 5 stocks, you can manage the Nifty. Let's go to the reality. Let's go to the reality. Now, if I see here, and a very simple method to find out right now whether you are in a trend or not is to look at the yearly trend line. So I put in the yearly trend line here. Right? And the base logic is, when the price is above the yearly trend line, it is considered bullish. When the price is below the yearly trend line, it is considered bearish. This is bullish. Market looks bullish. Let's look at the reality. I go here and I go very simple filtering into this. Let's say, are we in bullish or bearish market? And I say last traded price is greater than the yearly trend line. Let me filter it and see how many stocks are above the yearly trend line. This is the number. Out of the total stocks, 470 stocks, 6 stocks are bullish. Now let's try to find out how many stocks are below the yearly trend line which are bearish. So I did this, and instead of greater than, I mark it less than, save and scan. How many stocks are bearish, guys? 1,100 and So are we in bull market or bear market? We are in a solid bear market. Nifty is just being manipulated. We are in a solid bear market. So no wonder, are your mutual funds performing? No, they are not. They are not giving you any returns because they are not holding the Nifty, they are holding the actual stocks. And this market is giving huge opportunities to build good portfolios now. Don't wait for Nifty to come down, it never comes down. Don't be misled by all the terms of Nifty 29, Nifty 28, a lot of people talk about that. When you are trading the stocks, you trade them individually on their merit. Either a stock is overbought or it is over. Buy the fear, sell the greed into the market. So coming back here, let's see here. So here in this one, I took 4 trades. 2 are in losses, 2 are in profits, but overall I took home the profit. Same principle, my winner is a little bigger than my sum. Let's look at another trade here. This one finished in loss. This one didn't finish in profit. This one finished in loss. Now, the biggest challenge you will face when you are an intraday trader is, in evening if you are in losses, you will have this huge urge to take your trade to the next day. Happens? Because you don't want to take the loss. It's pain. Loss is pain. And the first thing I was taught is, if you want to survive this market, you will have to learn how to take small losses. When you are wrong, there is no ego here. It is business. You have to take your small losses. Then the same market has also given me a 70,000 rupees of profit in a day. And as you can see there are no stocks here, only futures and options. When you are trading short term, there is only futures and options and no stop loss. Only options for risk management. Options is a risk management tool. It is hardly ever a trading tool. So, and you can go here. Profit, every day I take this 2-hour session in the morning in my online trading room. Recordings are sent to my traders, screenshots are sent, trade log is maintained. Let me open my trade log here. I'm doing this for 17 years now. And my trading journey started when I was 38 years old. Till 38, I had no idea what it was. See, there are profit days, there are loss days. It will never happen that you will have all profits. Red is loss, green is profit. Whenever I have a profit less than 10,000 rupees, I mark it blue. Greater than 10,000, I mark it green. This is all my marking system. And if you see here, what is my success rate? 70%. Total profit days 469, total loss days 203. 70% success rate, profit to loss ratio 4.2. You don't have to increase your percentage of success, you have to increase your profit to loss. And with this, if you see, last month I would make about 21% gross. Before that there was 32, 15, 10. So what am I targeting? I'm targeting about lakh rupees a month. And if I look at this year, 2019, I'm averaging about 1,29,000 rupees. Some of that some my broker will take away, some of the government will also take away, but I'll still get my decent 10% a month. What is the principle? As long as your profits are bigger and your losses are smaller, you will do well into this market. I've trained thousands of students, guys. And I'm a coach. I charge for my coaching, but I'll make you a good trader. I'll make you a bloody good investor. But you'll have to work hard. You will have to work hard. 50% effort is mine, 50% is yours. I'll do my 50% honestly, you do your 50% honestly, and you will reach there. Sometimes you have to follow the market, sometimes you have to look for the levers. There are two ways of catching the moves in the market. One is by trend following and one is by trend. So you should be proficient in both. So a little more. Why losses happen? Because people don't understand the risk and it is a bi-directional market. In which direction do you get the most money? You get the most money in the downward direction. The market goes down. I have a YouTube channel with about 175 videos. A lot of them live trading videos. You can listen to that later. We have at least 25 to 30 live trading sessions where I live trade in front of others, and you need to manage it. And in the end, there is only one person important to it, is you. Get the skill, increase the vocabulary, and your success or failure will depend on you. It's a learnable skill. As long as you are coachable, you are learnable, you will do good into this market. You have come here, you are interested. But you have to take it one step further and make yourself serious about it. These are your vehicles, stocks. There are 8,000 stocks to choose from. And many of them are multi-baggers. In fact, stocks are the primary vehicle for portfolio building. What are the mutual funds buying? Stocks only. Why can't you learn to do it yourself? When I train you in fundamental analysis, I'll be teaching you criteria by which you can yourself find out which stock is cheap and which stock is expensive. How to read the balance sheet, how to understand the business model, how to understand what competitors are doing, what is the vision, what is the mission, what technologies are giving money, what technologies will become obsolete. Because what is most risky, intraday or portfolio building? Any guess? No. Intraday is the safest form of trading. What are the three risks in the market? Let's go to the three. Intraday is the safest. See, normally most people speak from their experiences. You don't have the experience of profit there yet, but it is. What is the first risk in the market? Risk one is time risk. This is the first risk. Whatever events will happen only in time. So when you are holding something for 2 hours, the risk is only of 2 hours. But when you are holding something for 2 years, your risk is of 2 years. That's why portfolio building is the most risky activity you will do. In intraday trading, if you make a mistake in the first 2 hours, it can be recovered in the next 2 hours.
Or it can be even done in the next day.
Yes, next day. But if you lose money in your 5-year portfolio, you will never get those 5 years back. First is the time risk. Risk 2 is the skill risk. If you do not have the required skill, the person who has the skill will take the money from. And the risk 3 here is emotion risk. Since it is money involved, money generates the most emotions. Please understand. Money is the one most people are very private about. It generates the most emotions. Every other place it is indirect. You do mistake in your job, you can say sorry to your boss, maybe he won't cut it from the salary. In your business, let's say you make a mistake, say sorry to your customer, maybe he won't cut it from your bill. But has it ever happened? that you lose a lot of money in your trading, investing, you call the National Stock Exchange and say, sorry, I will not do it next time. Do you get it back? So how do you work on the emotional risk? To work on the emotional risk, there is only one method. You bound yourself with a set of rules. In my classes, I have 50 solid rules that you have to adhere to. You cannot break them. Some of them are technical analysis rules, some are fundamental analysis rules, some are risk management rules, many of them are emotional rules. For example, if you are having a bad day, if you have fought with your boss, if you have a fight with your wife, you don't trade that day. Because you will just take the frustration out on the stock market, and any day stock market doesn't bother about it. You just say, okay, you are frustrated, give me your money. So there's so many rules that you will have to adhere. And once you adhere to those rules, money is yours. Please understand, the stock market has no problem in giving you a 10,000 rupees in a day, provided you have the skill to. It's an amazing business, provided you have the skill to get it. So you can trade stocks mainly for portfolios. You can trade stock futures. Now they are for intraday and swing. You can trade Nifty and Bank Nifty. Amazing indexes. You can trade options. Amazing product. Options is a three-dimensional product. Stock is a one-dimensional product. Future is a two-dimensional product, and option is a three-dimensional product. Stock can give you money only when the price goes. Future can give you money both up and down, and option can give you money in three directions: up, down, and you can also trade commodities. Amazing field developing in India. Opens at 9 in the morning, it opens till 12 in the night. Even if you don't find time in the day, you can come home in the night and you can trade commodities. You can trade forex, nicely developing, and contrary to the normal view, the futures and options is a much cheaper market. Anybody has an idea how much money does it require in commodity to trade gold? No sir, 140 rupees. Gold better. 140? 140 rupees. Most people are not even aware of it. When I start people into their commodity tradings, I know they are new. They will make mistakes. I say start with gold better. And I say don't even, when people ask you, what do you trade in stocks? You can say to them, no, I don't trade stocks, I trade gold. Come on. 140. Then you move to gold mini, which is 12,000 rupees, 14,000. Then you go to the main gold, which is 2 lakh. To trade USD and you require just 1,400 rupees, guys. And the kind of moves you can catch if you have proper risk management and a set of rules. Contrary to the view that futures and options are very risky, my experience is exactly the opposite. If you know how to handle them, they are one of the safest products to trade because there you can make combinations. In stocks, I cannot make any combination. In stock, my only option is I can put a stop loss. Most people, you ask them about risk management, they have one answer: stop loss. It's boring now to hear about stop loss. They're designed to be hit. Now, when you go to futures and options, you can make combinations where the market doesn't understand what you are doing. Please understand, if the market understands what you are doing, it will take your money. The whole market is designed to take your money. That's how it is designed. You have to become a little more skilled to find out how the market will not know what you are doing, sir. And then every day, 10,000, 15,000, you can easily make. Shift it into the portfolio, and in portfolio, don't look at it for 10 years. Find good companies, don't touch them. Change them every year if the business has become bad, not because it has gone up or down. Mr. Jhunjhunwala doesn't look at super trend on his title. He understands his business better than us. That's why he is Mr. Jhunjhunwala, and that's why they are Warren Buffett. So two aspects. One, to time the market perfectly using futures and options. Other, to let your money grow, start from a small tree and become an oak tree by fundamental analysis where your children can reap the benefits of your intelligence that you are putting in the market today. And make sure when you are learning, you teach it to your family. Please teach it to your wife and to your own wife only. Okay. So portfolio, most people think to make a portfolio, I need to just buy blue chip companies. That's not true. This is the bull run of Nifty. Now Nifty will always go up. Think of the logic. How does Nifty operate? How does Dow operate? How does all indexes of the world operate? They consist of a certain number of stocks. And once a stock becomes weak, it is replaced by a stronger stock. Suzlon was once part of Nifty. Arcom was once part of Nifty. They will remove it and put a stronger one. This will never go down. This doesn't represent our market, please. This is designed to go up. You put your money into a Nifty ETF, it will give you 10% a year, forget it. But that's not what you are here for. So this is not the benchmark. It has been marketed as a benchmark. So get out of your Nifties and Bank Nifty, focus on individual stocks. Suzlon went down, but at the same time Reliance went up. Arcom came, it's all blue chips. ACC went up. Kingfisher will never fly again. Siemens went up. JP Associates went down. TCS went up. And Unitech went up. How do you know that 5 years down the line, which one will yours be? That's why I always say, whether it is 2 hours of intraday trading or 10 years of portfolio building, if you are not a winner before you enter, you can never be a winner after you enter. You have to be right before you start. You can never be right after you start. Okay guys, let me introduce myself in brief. My name is Yogeshwar Vashishtha. I'm a civil engineer by profession. I've done my M.Tech from IIT Roorkee. This movie Super 30 that came recently, the IIT that is shown in that, I'm from there. And I'm from a middle class background. 2 generations back, my forefathers, they were farmers. My father worked hard. He was the first person in his village to become a graduate. He got a job in Indian Institute of Petroleum, and we all moved to Dehradun, where I was raised. Money was always short, family was big. So I was told, and my father valued education the most. He said, everything is education. So he made sure, despite everything, all of us became postgraduates. And when I got selected for my IIT, it was a proud moment for my family. And my father is a serious man. He called me and said, son, you are going to a prestigious institute now. And try and stay away from bad habits like smoking, drinking, drugs, stock markets. So, first 3 I knew, I still don't do any of them. But last one I had no idea. I said, Dad, what is this stock market? He said, even I don't know, but it is some sort of gambling. Some of my scientist friends have gone there and they've lost your money. We are nice middle class people, we don't gamble. So at a tender age of 17, 18, it was imprinted on my mind, stock market equal to gambling. Until the age of 38, I had nothing to do with stock market. In fact, the moment I used to hear stock market, I used to stay away because I didn't want it to be classified as a. So, we normally live and operate our paradigms. If you want to change our life, we need to change our paradigm. Paradigm shift is the most important. Joel Barker has written a wonderful book on paradigm shifts. Worth it. Teach it to your children. So life went on. I became a scientist with CBRI. I did my M.Tech. I did my M.Tech from IIT, geotechnical engineering, became a scientist with CBRI. And then I got a chance to work with a multinational called Skanska. That's what was told to me by my father. Work hard, either get a government job or I became an NRI. NRI. Board of India and become a NRI. When you are 27, 28, marry. Make sure that you get married at right age. Within 2 years you should have kids. So that by the time you are, he had mathematics, he was a mathematics guy. Everything was maths. In fact, when I was in class 11th, he asked me, do you want to be a doctor or an engineer? I said, I don't want to be a doctor. He said, decide, you will be an engineer. That's how many of us lived our lives. So, till 38, I had nothing to do with the stock market. I was selected for Skanska, where I worked on hydropower projects in Sri Lanka, Sweden, Norway, and my last project was in Peru in South America. When I was in Sri Lanka working on the Yunkan hydropower project, in one of the parties in Colombo, I met a gentleman called Jeffrey. We just clicked, we became good friends. So I asked him, what do you do? And he said, I'm a professional stock, commodity and forex trader. I didn't say anything, I kept quiet. He was afraid. So then he asked me, what do you do? I said, I'm a chief geotechnical engineer for this hydropower project. He said, fine. And weeks passed. One day he confronted me, he said, Yogeshwar, you talk so much about your profession, but the moment it comes to my profession, you take the topic somewhere else. Why is it so? I said, no, but I don't want to talk about it. He said, why? I said, you're my friend. I can't say to you, why are you a gambler? And he was in a state of shock. He said, who told you I'm a gambler? I said, I know. And he said, how do you know? I said, my father told me. I said, how many years back? I said, 20 years back. Did he trade? No. How did he know? I have no idea. Don't we operate many things like this in our life? So, that's when I got my first lecture of 6 hours. He said, sit down. Everything I am telling you now, half of that I learned in 2002 from my first mentor, Jeffrey. He was from Sweden. And he introduced me to this field. Then he invited me to watch his live trading. He used to trade. He was there in Sri Lanka on vacation. And I watched him trading crude oil. And within 1 week, he made more money trading crude oil sitting in his room than I was making digging tunnels for the whole month and becoming all black. My salary was pretty good at that time. It was 3 lakh rupees a month, US dollars, tax-free, which will be equivalent to about 10-15 lakh rupees a month now here with inflation. And I started liking the profession, but he was just a friend. I learned whatever I could from him. When he went back to Sweden, he said, whenever you get a chance, learn from Pristine Academy of USA, they are the best. So from there I was transferred to South America, Peru, Yunkan hydropower project, and I enrolled myself for a course of Pristine Academy. They're still there. And this was the life-changing event of my life. There's always one decision in your life that changes your life, and all decisions are never made in future or past, they're always made in the now. So I enrolled myself into this. I had an advantage of time difference because there was a 12-hour time difference, so I could do my job and also live trade the Indian markets in the night. My family was not with me. It was a non-family posting. And I was missing my family. 2 boys, they were started growing up now. Within a year, I was making about 10% a month on my portfolio. And that was a very motivating thing for me. That became an extremely motivating thing for me. 10% a month, and I did my back calculation. I do my maths. Everything I do is do my maths. The only place where my maths failed was after I got married. Then it fails. Because, my wife after 6 months, she said, if you want this marriage to succeed, put your maths in the dustbin. Start caring. Caring works in the relationship. So, I put my maths here and said, I have enough savings. I can survive 5 years just on my savings. Let me give this profession a very serious try. And I went home, went to my father. I wanted to discuss with him first. So I went to him. I said, let me give you the good news first. He was very proud of me traveling to various countries. So I said, Dad, my project in Peru is finished. I have been transferred to Scotland now. He said, very good. I said, but I don't want to go there. He said, what do you want to do? He said, I want to come back to Mumbai and become a full-time stock market trader. Luckily, I was sitting 5 feet away from him. Sure. It took me 3 days to convince him that I am not going to a gambling den. He understood the logic, but he made me promise, do it seriously for 3 years. But if it doesn't work, you will go back to your job. I said, I promise. So in February 2007, I came back to India. I became a full-time trader. And this was a roaring bull market, the same that we have now. Then the crisis in US started. Lehman Brothers happened here. Subprime crisis happened, and this market crashed. And in this crash, most people lost a lot of money. This was my best. One thing, note it down. There is more money in the market when it goes down, because there is hardly any competition. Let's have a look at the recent live trading. Go here. This is my company, pathfinderstrainings.com, guys, here. I'm the owner of this company here. If I go to market analysis, it will take you to my YouTube channel. Let's open one of my recent live trading, which was on the election result day. Just here. This was the live trading on the election result. The full trading is of 6 hours. This is a cut version of about 18 minutes. Let's look at the whole logic. When you are entering into a trade, you have to build your logic first. Then you have to make sure the maths is right. Then you check if you have the required money. Then you check whether you have the required risk-taking capacity. Then only you enter the trade, because your control on the trade is till you enter it. After you enter it, you have cut your hands and given it to the market. So you have to do all your due diligence before. So if I go to that market here, let's build our logic. A night before with my traders, I took a session online, and this was the market. Before the elections, the polls, where the votes have been cast, an exit poll is about to come. So event number 1, exit poll. Market went up 500 points on Nifty. So the BJP victory was factored in. BJP victory was factored in, and here, this was a day before the elections. So what was the candle? candle was a doji. It is said in technical analysis, if you understand properly the doji, the market will come to you and say loji. That's how powerful is a doji. So here, we started building our logic. Tomorrow there are three possibilities when the results come. Either BJP will win, or Congress will win, or the coalition will happen. There is no third result. BJP winning is already factored into the prices. That means if BJP wins, it will not take the market up, because that is already factored in the chart. If Congress or hung assembly happens, it will be real bad news and the market will go down. So our simple trade was a short trade. We said we'll only take a short trade whenever it will. Trading is like a tiger hunting. He waits for his prey to be in the right place at the right time. So we, in the 9 in the morning, we started.
Points consolidated.
So market opened positive. Market is going up. It is 163 points up on Nifty. So what is the trade to be taken? Nothing. We are watching the election results, checking on this one. We wait further.
Really good Maruti or Tata Motors almost.
Now, if I move here,
we will look at the results and
now some more time, half an hour has passed. What are we doing? Waiting. Again, we go further. And now, somewhere around this point, now I had a directional neutral trade which was giving me 12,000 rupees. I booked it, initiated a day before, not dependent on the direction. And now here, around, this was our entry. Around 10:30, 11, we got our entry. Finally, the institution started selling. You're not trading like a retail. If you have to make money here, you have to start thinking like the institutions. You have to learn to find their moves. We can't beat them, we have to follow. It's a very simple method of making money here. So this is where the entry came. So what was my trade? Short trade. Nifty shorts is what I was looking at. Short trades here. The market moving on the downward side here. It's available on YouTube for free. You can have a look at it. So now I am, and with me, more than 500 traders were trading on that day. So it is serious. If I lose money, they also lose money. So you have to be very careful when you coach and mentor. And this is the real money on the table here. So here, market moving in my direction here. Logging our trades using various charts. Now here, if you see here, by this time, by about 1 o'clock, I already booked about 57,000 rupees. My trading capital, 10 lakh. That's what I use every day. Now from here, what is the rule of trading I have? Once you are on good money, after that you can risk only 25% of your profits. No matter how greedy you become. You have to learn how to bind yourself with a set of rules. I understand there are traders trading with me, and then here, this is a 49,000 booked in futures, and what I am trading? Futures and options. There are no stocks. So here now, if I move further, let's go to the end. So this is a profit book, so of about 58, I finished with about 66,000 rupees of profit, and in the end,
43,000.
now this is a 60,000 rupees loss properly.
Did everybody see what others made today? This gives a lot of confidence. 3,000, 10,000, 4,000.
There are people trading with me.
60,000, 8,000, 7,000, 43,000, 12,000, 1 lakh, 15,000, 20,000. then 6,000, 8,500, 4,500,
My success is
5,300.
when my traders make more money than, that's when my success is. This is an amazing market and you can make more money in the downward direction. Yes Bank is a huge opportunity now, not only in upward direction but also in a downward direction. So this was the best year. I love shorts. That's a preferred direction I trade in the futures and options. In stocks, you only have to be long. Then you don't have a choice. So when you are building your portfolio and learning how to do short trading, you are automatically balancing your whole capital. I started live trading in front of others from 2009 onwards. An international company, they asked me for a consultancy and it was a good opportunity for me to learn from international traders. I was associated with them for about 2 years. At that time, my challenge was psychological. I had reached a stage where my trading capital had become very big and risks were not in the range of 1,000, the risks have gone in lakh rupees, 2 lakh, 3 lakh, 5 lakh rupees per trade. And I used to face psychological issues, where the fear factor was becoming very big because the big capital was there. That's where some of these traders, they helped me a lot to overcome my
Fear.
emotional and psychological issues. You will all face them. There are no upper limits here. Trading has no upper limits. One to the next, next to the next, next to the next. This is a level that you will go for. This is John Bollinger, inventor of Bollinger Band. This is my company, pathfinderstrainings.com. It exists since 2007. In 2012, I started mentoring people with live trading, especially after I met this wonderful group of traders. And in December 2012, I launched my first batch in Mumbai of about 35 students. 6 months of training, 3 days in a hotel, physical training. After that, 6 months of online training, lifetime of mentorship, and the total model is based on live trading, where you will learn by watching me live trade my money in front of you, which will be minimum 10 lakh rupees, real money, not the options or the leveraged money. With 10 lakh rupees in the stock market, how much can you buy every day? About 2 crore rupees. And you will also be trading with me. That is the main. It is not about me, it is about, but you will not start with this one. You start small, 10,000, 20,000, 40,000. And in the start, even if you're not very sure, you start with 500. But never a dummy, never a paper trading. It should always be real money. And this gives me a pressure to perform. And this also helps me to become a better trader. And while you become a better trader, it's a great win-win that I always find. Hardly anybody in India live trades. I have not seen anybody live trading in front of others. Most people just teach theory. Theory is not enough. Theory is available on YouTube channels. The way books are available in bookshops, but you still have to go to a school to learn. Similarly, if you want to succeed into this field, you will need a proper training and a coach who can help you to succeed. What I have seen is, in the letter learned is hidden the better. These are the facts of trading and investing. First of all, can anybody become a trader and investor? The answer is yes. It is a field that is learnable. It's a learnable field if you apply yourself into it. If you are uneducated, you are illiterate, then maybe not. But all of you are already graduates, you are engineers, doctors and those things. You will pick it up easily, but it will not happen in 2 days. It will require about 3 to 6 months to become good. In a month, you will start getting a hang of it. But in about 6 months, so you should start about creating incomes from portfolio from day 10 onwards maybe. But when you are looking for futures and options, you should have the patience of at least about 3 months before you can understand the product properly and you are skilled enough into it. It's an acquired skill, you'll acquire some business. Now this is one thing many people miss, that you will have to treat it like a business if you want to succeed. If you treat it like a business, it will do well. Then trading is risk management. You have to manage your money and risk properly and it can give incomes. This is what you will have to learn to become a successful trader and investor. Build and manage your own portfolio. The first thing I will teach you is how to build your portfolio. How not to ever give your money to anyone. Then intraday trading, the safest form of trading I will teach you, and I will also teach you automated trading. How you can make money without being near the market for the whole day. I've seen a lot of people, they sit in front of the market for the whole day. It is not required. Half an hour, 1 hour if you can give in a day, that is good enough to become an intraday trader. In any case, market needs your analysis, not your presence. Then catch markets in with swing trading. With swing trading, you can catch most of the moves of the institutions. 90% of the institutions do swing trading. They take the stock from one level to next level, dump it, go to another stock, take it from one level to next level and dump it. It is the accumulation and the dumping that is continuously happening. Once you can understand the cycle, you can find out with filtering which one is being accumulated, which one is being dumped. Then trade a leverage asset and make money when the price goes down. This is a great skill to have. What to buy, when to buy, how much to get out. This is the skill set required. This is the learning skill you will require. You will have to master fundamental analysis first. What is fundamental analysis? The analysis of the businesses, the balance sheets, the business models, various ratios, and how to know out of the 8,000 stocks, which are the 25 stocks which are suitable for your 10-year portfolio. This is the base, this is the foundation. In fact, on the day one, this is where I'll be starting. This is where I'll be starting. Then chart reading with technical analysis, which will tell you the correct entries and the correct exits. When you are doing intraday and swing trading, you have to enter correctly and exit. Then stock filtering to find high probability trades. You cannot open 8,000 charts every day. So how to find out right now what is overbought, what is oversold, which one is sideways, which one is uptrending, which one is downtrending, where the opportunity is more. Somebody gives you Tata Motors, Ashok Leyland and Mahindra. All three are auto stocks. How do you know tomorrow which one to trade? That comes with the technical and the fundamental filtering. Risk management is the key. How to do risk management in such a way that you will never lose any big money, and with the combinations of futures and options, it is very much possible. In fact, you can reach a level where you can start making money from the time that is inherent in every premium of the option. But that takes some time to reach. Then, mastery of the online platforms, high probability trading strategies. What is this? Setups. What are you looking for? You're looking for a setup. And where will you find the setup? On the chart. Once you filter the charts, let's say you went there, you put a condition, out of 8,000, 200 remain. You put one more condition, out of 200, 50 remain. You put one more condition, out of 50, 10 remain. Now all of these things are almost similar. Which one to trade? You open all 10 of them and you find out those high probability setups, which has a minimum reward to risk ratio of 2 and which has a higher probability of going in your directions, which are liquid and which have the required market depth. And you take only those trades. There is no point putting your money in 10 trades you don't know anything about. It is much better to do the analysis and put the money only in 2 trades, which have the right setups. What I've learned is nobody has ever lost any money by not taking a trade. The moment you take a trade, you are in risk. So you should be a winner before you enter the trade, and that is with the right high probability trading strategies where your hit rate in the past should be at least 60 to 70%. That's the minimum hit rate that you are looking at. Trading plan aligned to your personality. In fact, when you will join the class, first thing even before coming on day 1, I'll send you a link where you will do a psychometric testing, and on the first day when you will come, I'll ask you guys, can you submit your psychometric testing to me before I begin your class? It's a journey of 6 months that you will be doing with me, and it is a mentorship model, not a trading model, where you will be learning by doing live trading with me. So here you need to have a proper trading plan aligned to your personality, rational decision making, money management and trade management, and managing your emotions and your subconscious. This is a skill set to be. These are the various batches that have passed out in various cities. Some of them are put here. The average batch size in a class is about 30. Like I'll be doing the class in Chennai next to next Saturday. It starts in this room. So this room has a capacity of about 30 people. In classroom setting, 30 people can sit here. That means out of this batch sitting here, I can only give seats to 15 people. So 15 I have to give in the afternoon session where there are more people in the morning session. So about 30 people I can take into this session, and I go to one city once in a year. I normally travel 8 to 12 cities in a year. It is a model where your onus of success depends on your hard work. How many of you are ready to work hard? Raise your hand. I am ready to work hard.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Everybody is interested.
That's clear. Shortcut, I have no shortcuts. Work hard. I have, my youngest student is 12 years old. My oldest student is 78. After you are 60, stock market not only becomes a means of making money, it will also pass your time. Because loneliness starts coming in. Children grow up. So that's another reason to, you can help others. You can coach. When you learn from me, please teach it to 5 people around you, your friends and your family members, so that they can also learn it. These are the various batches that passed in various cities, guys. Let's talk about the mentoring program, the course. I have a course coming in Chennai, this hotel, same room, 16, 17, 18 November. That is next to next Saturday. I have a course coming here. And it's a 6 months course with a lifetime of mentoring. How much should you know? It starts from absolute zero. I assume that you know nothing. That is my assumption, that you know nothing. That you have not done anything in the stock market before, or you have suffered the losses. In fact, I'll start, what is the stock market? That's where I'll be starting. The sessions are in English, I speak in English in most of my sessions. And The 6 months of coaching with live trading starts with 3 days of classroom training, in which 2 days I will teach and 1 day I will live trade in front of you with about 10 lakh rupees. So Saturday, Sunday I will teach, and on Monday, whatever I have taught you from 9 to 3:30, I will live trade in front of you. Then the sessions would be recorded the way this session is being recorded and I will send to you. Similarly, those sessions will be recorded and those 3 days of sessions would be sent to you so that you can revise them. Because you might understand 50% or 70%, some concepts won't be clear. So you will get a recording of the session within a week, and then you will have 2 to 3 weeks to go through it again. You can make your notes. Very sizable notes would be given to you, or not e-notes, physical notes would be given to you. Homeworks would be given to you that you have to do. So it starts with 3 days of classroom training in Chennai. It is in this hotel, in this room, from 9 in the morning till 4 in the evening. Day 1 is fundamental analysis and portfolio building. I start with creating that 20-year vision first. Because when the 20-year vision becomes clear, intraday trading becomes enjoyable. You have to make it enjoyable. So I start with fundamental analysis, where I'll be telling you how to evaluate the companies. And I start by taking your stocks from your portfolio and seeing which one fits. Question answer session would be in there. So, and seeing which one are suitable for your portfolio, which one are not suitable for your portfolio. And normally what I have seen in the last 12 years since I am teaching, I am able to eliminate more than 90% of the stocks. Because most people buy blue chips on Tata, Bata, Reliance, TCS, Sun Pharma. While the real portfolio building starts in the micro cap stocks, small cap stocks and the large cap stocks. So we'll start with this. Day 2 would be technical analysis, chart trading. And I also start introducing you with the various charts. There is a line chart, bar chart, candlestick chart, Heinkensche chart, Renko chart. So all these charts I'll teach you. Then I'll take you into candlesticks. Candlesticks were invented in Japan 400 years ago. And they are the key to success. Because they are the direct way. We will look at the price directly and indirectly. When you look at the price directly in technical analysis, you are looking at the candlestick patterns, the gaps, the various formations. You are looking at the trend lines. You are looking at the Bollinger Bands and 20 other tools. Then you try to look at the price indirectly using the oscillators and the indicators. You use RSIs, the MACDs and 20 other oscillators and indicators. The price of the indirect methods is to find the momentum, and the price of the direct method is to find the direction. When you have both, you know the high probability trade that is coming. So once that is done on day 2, then on day 3, we will start a little early, and day 3 I start around 8:30 because the market is coming, starts at 9, and for the whole day I will do the live trading with you on day 3. So you will be sent a session. So I'll give you a month to prepare yourself. You need to prepare yourself before you can do live trading with me. 1 month you prepare yourself, 3 days you are with me, then I send the recording. Every batch, that part here it will be about 30 people. I create a WhatsApp group of the whole group so that these 30 people are joined together. I am part of every WhatsApp group. So far I am part of 130 WhatsApp. That's the number of batches that have passed out in the last 7-8 years. So there, 2-3 things are happening. Number one, you guys are helping each other. You are connected. Most of my trading groups, they are from the same city. They have a habit of meeting once every 3 months. I encourage that. Meet every 3 months to see how you are progressing. I'm there in the group, so the mentoring automatically happens. I have a dedicated an hour for WhatsApp answering, where after the market for about an hour, I just see what all queries are there and I answer them. Then each one of you will be getting a dedicated relationship manager, dedicated RM, whose job is to help you with your admin. आपके classes भेजने हैं, आपको password नहीं चल रहा है, so all that he will be helping you with, and of course you will have a technical RM who will be helping. I have a team of about 20 people, but the course from the start to the end would be taken by me. I do not delegate even 1 minute of my course to anybody else. So then, after 1 month, your live trading will be starting. There will be 4 sessions in a month. 2 in the day, 2 in the night. In the day, what are the markets that are very attractive? Stocks, futures, forex, options. This is the attractive, and stocks of course. In the night, what is the market that is attractive? Any guess?
Commodities.
You need to learn how to live trade both the markets. So first and third Wednesday of the month, 9 in the morning till 3:30 in the afternoon, you will live trade with me. Now the course will be totally online. First 3 days you have to come to me. After that, the course becomes online. And in the online course, recordings, every session I'll give you the recordings. Recordings, even a free session I give you recordings, so that you can revise it again. So, you will get recordings of this live trading session, but your real benefit will be when you attend them live, so that you can do the practice. What I do in this live trading session is, I'll first do the filtering, so that you know what to trade today. Market has opened, I'll do my fundamental technical filtering. These are the high probability trades. Then I'll also ask you, what trades have you brought? You also did your filtering, you brought. And we will find out the ones that everybody has filtered. Mind you, everybody is intelligent here. I am intelligent, you are also intelligent. You are all maybe more intelligent than me. On that election result day, I made 66,000. In the same class, one of my students made 3.5 lakh rupees. So, I am just a catalyst, please understand. Your trader will be born inside you with your own efforts. I'll just coach you and help you to get there and find that trader which is already living inside you. Otherwise, you would not be sitting here. You would be watching a movie on TV on a Sunday. So you already have that trader and investor inside you. You just have to bring it out. I'll help you to bring it out. And after 1 year, if you still need me, I have failed. In 1 year, you should become independent. So here, when we are looking at it, so then this is the live trading that happens. Sessions would be given. Then second and fourth Thursday in the night, there will be live commodity trading, plus I'll be teaching a concept. Any concept, any topic that is important, old or new one, I'll be teaching you so that you can get that topic and apply it in the commodity market. And then on Friday, I'll give you the live recorded sessions, so that on weekend you can revise the important topics. And I also have a mentoring for life. Anybody who passes my course gets a mentoring for life. That means every Thursday, 12:30 to 1:30, I take a mentoring session for all my students, where you can ask me your queries. I normally analyze the market and tell you what am I trading. And you can ask your queries about a stock or a future or an option. So this is a course, guys, where you can build your portfolio and make money when the price goes down, do all kind of trading. This is the cost fees, guys. 3 days of physical training, 6 months of online training, 39,000 plus 18% GST, 46,020 one-time cost. You don't have to buy any software, no gimmicks, nothing. That's all it is. And once you are trained properly and you understand properly the futures and the options, it takes one good trade to recover this money back. So, this is the dates, please note. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 17, 18, 19 October, this hotel, this room. 3 days plus.
November.
It's a November.
So, sorry, no, this will be November. Thank you very much. I just finished a course in Mumbai, that was in October, so I never moved that.
So 16, 17 of it is.
16, 17.
That is the Mumbai days. 16 to 18. That's fine. Am I right here now?
Yes.
Much. And I also have a good offer for you today, guys. This is my offer for you today. Do I have the book? I have 15 seats for this class. And if you book your course today, you don't have to pay the full money. Just pay 2,000 rupees and book your seat. Rest of the money you can pay before the course starts. If you book your course today, you get 18% GST off. You don't have to pay the full money, just pay 39,000 and you save 7,020 rupees. Tomorrow you will have to pay the full price. Some of the seats have gone because people also book online. Then this is one of my favorite books. I will rate it as the top 5 investing books in the world recently. So here, The Safe Investor. You get a physical hard copy of this book on the day one when you will start your course. This is another good gift I have for you. And this is a CD which contains some life-changing books. One of them is The Science of Getting Rich, and some other trading books that I have been using in my trading journey. You get a copy of this also, and a strategy recording. Can you pass the sheets, please? So this is my offer for you today. After this session is finished, you can, I'm already a little late, that's what I got that note for. After a month, you also become eligible for my online trading room where I live trade every day. This is for people who want to become full-time traders. This is the training support team numbers, guys. My team will now pass you a sheet. Kindly fill it. Thanks for coming. And after you have filled the sheet, those who wants to give their 2,000 rupees advance and you can go on the back side to my team, and you can pay by credit card, you can pay by cash. Later on my website, you can have net banking, you can have credit card and other payment gateways. So I will put the offer here. I'll give you 2 minutes to fill it. Just come back in 2 minutes and then I'll also take your question answers. This is the offer. Query. I'm here for 10 minutes. You can ask me any questions you want. Those who want to book their courses, you can go back, pay your advance and book your course. Thank you very much for coming and giving me a full house. And I pray that all of you get success into the stock market. Thank you very much. you have to see the opportunity. Some days the opportunity is better in the market. Commodities. Gold was 5 rupees for 1 month. You can, it is not about which market. You have to learn. My personal capital. My personal capital. This is only for demonstration. No, 10 lakh is for my trading. That is with my trade. But opportunities are. Let's not put so much. Yes, how can I help you? Sure. You can call me.
Okay, I have given my name. Submitting the form. If it's working right, if I come down. 3 days program. Something, traveling, coming up.